When American actress Gabor Sidibe was regarded as the world's heaviest black girl, she knew that she had to make a change. You should see what she looks like now though. Gabor Sidibe is an American actress who was born in Brooklyn, New York. She didn't have a poor childhood, but neither one full of money and extravagances. Her father was a cab driver, and her mother was a gospel and R&B singer that toured the local clubs. Between them, they made a decent enough amount of money to get by somewhat comfortably. Now the thing is that Gabor had always been a large child. She played outside and ran and jumped just like all other children, but she never lost any weight. In fact, as her childhood years pushed by, she just got bigger and bigger and bigger. This was in large part down to her eating habits. She ate whatever she wanted, whenever she wanted, most particularly enjoying things like cookies and soda. Despite her ballooning weight, Gabor went to college, where she pursues her dreams of becoming a professional actress. Between classes, she went to many casting calls, eventually receiving a callback and final audition to be in the movie Precious, which was originally known as Push before its release in 2009. This development helped her rise up from just a humble, struggling actress to become a household name. Her meteoric rise to fame saw Gabor win the Independent Spirit Award, as well as being nominated for Golden Globe and Academy Actress Awards too. As more people started to see Precious, more journalists and critics started calling it an amazing movie, and that was in no small part thanks to the incredible acting of Gabor. In fact, Precious even won awards at the prestigious Cannes and Sundance film festivals. As the film had not received a wide release in theaters, TV mega personality Oprah Winfrey helped promote it, further shining the spotlight on Gabor. It really was an incredible time in her life. Things were happening at a breakneck speed, and everything was rapidly changing before her eyes. But despite there being a lot of good, exciting, and incredibly lucky things happening in Gabor's life, there were also a fair share of bad things happening too. Because of the increased attention on the movie and Gabor, people started to comment on her weight. Indeed, she weighed around 300 pounds at the time of starring in Precious, and she did have a lot of excess weight. There were even commentators that dubbed her the world's heaviest black girl, something which really cut deep. Even a well-known actress told Gabor to leave the business because of how large she was. You see, in Hollywood, there's an expectation for people to be the right size and shape. Slim, beautiful people book more jobs than overweight or unattractive people. It's just a cruel and unfair aspect of the industry that people have to deal with if they want to stay in its inner circles. If your face doesn't fit, then you're fighting an uphill battle. Gabor understood that more than anyone, but still, being labeled the world's heaviest black girl was awful and very traumatic for her. Speaking to the media about the things that people said, Gabor disclosed, "What angers me about what people say about my body is that they assume that they care about my health more than I do. And that is impossible. You don't care. You only care that you have a voice, and you think your voice gets to say something about me. But I care more than anybody really knows. Of course I care. It's been my body my whole life, and I didn't want to be afraid anymore. And I've been feeling like that for some time. But these cruel worlds also coincided with a huge medical discovery. You see, Gabor discovered that she had type 2 diabetes. This is a condition where your blood sugar levels are too high. It can cause increased thirst and hunger, as well as much more frequent urination. You can become very easily fatigued, get blurred vision, and the way and speed in which your body deals with infections and other problems becomes incredibly slow. It is of the utmost importance that type 2 diabetes is kept under control once discovered, and it can ultimately be fatal if untreated. This was the wake-up call that Gabor so desperately needed. She started off her weight loss journey by first approaching a bariatric surgeon, who offered to remove 80% of her stomach. This meant that she would experience less hunger and feel fuller much more quickly. Of course, this was only the first step on a long journey to weight loss. The next step was for Gabori to alter her diet. Originally, she would snack on things like burgers and fries and down several bottles of soda per week. But now, her vastly shrunken stomach would no longer allow such gluttony. Instead, she had smaller portions of healthier foods. For example, where she would once drink sugary drinks, she now enjoyed ice water and lemon. This was not only a delicious and refreshing drink for her, but also a way to wash out any toxins and poisons from her body, while helping her keep hydrated and naturally moisturized. Not only did Gabori greatly decrease the amount of processed meals and fast food that she consumed, but she also ate at appropriate times too. Instead of eating at random times throughout the day and night, Gabori settled into a routine of consuming 5 or 6 meals a day. This may sound like a lot, but the portions were always small and the food very nutritious. On top of that, she would always drink water 20 minutes before each and every meal to aid with digestion. Speaking to a nutritionist, Gabori really honed in on what a perfect diet looked like. If she wanted to keep her weight off, it really was important that the foods she ate were the right ones. The nutritionist said that she should consume plenty of vegetables as well as roots, grains, seeds and nuts. He also suggested that Gabori buy smaller plates. It was a strange request, and she asked why. The nutritionist explained that there's a psychological study about eating food from a small plate and that it would prove extremely useful to tame her hunger. She would still feel like she'd eaten a large amount, even though the portion size was smaller than it would have been on a bigger plate. This method would trick her mind into feeling full because of the empty plate. It's very clever and something Gabori really took to heart and tried to stick to. But when considering the psychology of weight loss, how was Gabori actually feeling about her journey? Well, as it turns out, she was feeling fantastic about it. Not only was she able to do things that she never could before, but she could also apply for roles that she would have never been able to when she still weighed 300 pounds. The transformation also helped lessen the negative symptoms of Gabori's type 2 diabetes, as well as her feeling of despair, hopelessness, and even depression. It really was incredible how much of a mental change losing weight had on her. Fast forward a couple of years later, and Gabori feels and looks amazing. Not only that, but she feels healthier and has a lot more energy. The whole thing revitalized her. Where she once weighed 300 pounds, she now weighs around half of that. In terms of goals, I have a goal right now, and I'm almost there, said Gabori in an interview. And once I've got it, I'll set another goal. I'm just going to do it goal by goal. I'm being very careful about who I share the goal with. My starting weight and my goal weight, they're personal, so I'll keep them to myself because it's really not for everybody. And the weight I was, the goal weight, the size I wear, all that stuff, it's got to stay with me because if too many people are involved, I'll shut down and I won't get anything done. Of course, Gabori still sticks to her special diet and eating routine and swears by it to keep the weight away. Not only that, but she still regularly sees a personal trainer to help her keep toned up and in shape. It's an incredible transformation and one that will continue help this star rise even higher into the Hollywood skies. People should look to Gabori as a source of inspiration. If she can do it and persist in order to become more successful in her acting career, then anyone can do it. It just takes determination and hard work. Did Gabori ever believe that she could go through such a transformation around the time that Precious was released? Probably not. But she still did it anyway, and she looks all the more incredible for it. So now it's over to you. What did you think of Gabori Sidibe's incredibly inspiring story? Do you believe that altering your eating habits truly impacts your health and your weight? As always, we love to hear from you, so be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below.